This is one of the biggest announcements in NASA's history. Today, Jared Isaacman and NASA leadership have laid out a plan for a nuclear-powered mission to Mars within the next 2 years, something that could completely change how we explore space. But this mission isn't just about reaching Mars faster, it's about deploying an entirely new system of aerial exploration from orbit. So how will this mission actually work? Why is it so important, and what does it mean for future human missions? That's exactly what we're going to break down. The most important breakthrough in this mission is not where it's going, but how it gets there. NASA's concept, known as Space Reactor 1 Freedom, is built around nuclear electric propulsion, a system that fundamentally changes how spacecraft move through space. Unlike chemical rockets that burn fuel in short, powerful bursts, this system generates electricity using a nuclear reactor and converts that energy into continuous thrust. According to mission concepts discussed by NASA, this allows spacecraft to accelerate gradually over long periods, reaching higher speeds with far greater efficiency. What makes this especially significant is the performance gap between traditional propulsion and nuclear electric propulsion. Chemical rockets are extremely powerful at launch, but once in space, they are limited by how much fuel they carry. Nuclear systems, on the other hand, use their fuel far more efficiently, meaning they can operate longer and push heavier payloads across greater distances. This isn't just a minor upgrade, it's a shift from short-duration bursts to sustained propulsion, which opens entirely new mission profiles that were previously impractical. This also explains how NASA can support more complex missions without dramatically increasing launch mass. With nuclear electric propulsion, the spacecraft can carry additional systems, instruments, and mission components while still maintaining efficient travel. That flexibility is critical for missions like this one, which are not just about reaching Mars, but performing multiple operations once there. The ability to transport advanced payloads is what makes the next part of this mission possible. But perhaps the most overlooked advantage is consistency. Solar-powered spacecraft depend on sunlight, which becomes weaker as missions travel farther from the sun. Nuclear systems remove that limitation entirely, providing stable and reliable power regardless of distance or environmental conditions. This reliability is essential for long-duration missions where precision and timing matter. All of this leads to a bigger realization. This spacecraft is not just a one-time experiment. It represents a scalable model for future deep space missions. If successful, nuclear electric propulsion could become the standard for missions beyond Mars, enabling faster travel, more complex exploration systems, and sustained operations across the solar system. And that's exactly where this mission becomes even more interesting, because the propulsion system is only the foundation. What this spacecraft is designed to deploy once it reaches Mars is what truly changes the way we explore another planet. The real innovation of this mission lies in how Mars will be explored once the spacecraft arrives. Instead of relying solely on rovers moving slowly across the surface, NASA's concept introduces a system known as Skyfall, which deploys multiple aerial vehicles from orbit. This approach builds on the success of the Ingenuity helicopter, but expands it into something far more ambitious, an operational network of flying scouts rather than a single experimental unit. What makes this approach powerful is the shift from linear exploration to distributed exploration. Rovers are limited by terrain, obstacles, and speed, often taking months to travel relatively short distances. Aerial systems, however, can cover wide areas in a fraction of the time, reaching locations that would be inaccessible or too risky for ground vehicles. According to mission concepts, these helicopters could scan terrain, identify hazards, and collect environmental data across multiple regions simultaneously. This capability becomes even more valuable when considering what scientists are actually looking for. One of the key goals is to locate subsurface water ice, a critical resource for future missions. While rovers can analyze specific locations, aerial systems can map large regions and identify promising targets much faster. This transforms exploration from a slow, step-by-step process into a dynamic, data-driven operation. The deployment method is just as important as the vehicles themselves. By releasing these systems from orbit, NASA avoids the limitations of traditional landing missions, where a single landing site determines the scope of exploration. Instead, Skyfall allows for multiple entry points across different regions, dramatically increasing coverage and flexibility. This approach reduces risk while maximizing scientific return. There's also a strategic advantage in redundancy. Instead of relying on a single rover or lander, multiple aerial systems can operate independently. If one fails, the mission continues. This distributed model makes the entire operation more resilient and adaptable, which is essential for complex planetary missions where conditions can change rapidly. What this ultimately reveals is a shift in exploration philosophy. Mars is no longer being treated as a single destination to land on, but as an environment to be mapped, analyzed, and understood from multiple perspectives at once. This is not just about collecting data, it's about building a comprehensive understanding of the planet's surface and resources. And that leads directly to the most important question. Why does NASA need this level of detail? The answer lies in what comes next, because this mission is not just about exploration, it's about preparation. The deeper purpose of this mission becomes clear when you look beyond the technology and focus on what it enables. This is not just a scientific mission, it is a preparation phase for future human exploration of Mars. Every element of the mission, from propulsion to aerial mapping, is designed to answer one critical question. Where and how can humans safely land and operate on Mars? One of the biggest challenges in planning human missions is uncertainty. Mars presents a complex environment with unpredictable terrain, dust activity, and limited accessible resources. Traditional missions provide valuable data, but they are often limited to specific locations. This mission changes that by generating large-scale environmental maps, allowing scientists to compare multiple regions and identify the safest and most resource-rich areas. The search for water ice is particularly important. Water is not just essential for life support, it can also be converted into fuel, making it a key resource for sustained missions. By identifying accessible ice deposits, NASA can begin planning missions that rely less on supplies from Earth and more on local resources. This is a major step toward long-term human presence on Mars. The role of nuclear propulsion becomes even more critical in this context. Human missions require reliable systems that can support extended operations, transport heavy equipment, and operate independently of environmental limitations. Nuclear-powered spacecraft offer a level of consistency and efficiency that aligns with these requirements, making them a strong candidate for future crewed missions. There's also a broader strategic perspective to consider. Missions like this are not isolated events, they are part of a long-term roadmap. Each mission builds on the previous one, gradually reducing uncertainty and increasing capability. This mission represents a transition point, where exploration begins to merge with infrastructure development. What makes this particularly exciting is the timeline. If these technologies prove successful, the gap between robotic exploration and human missions could narrow significantly. Instead of waiting decades between breakthroughs, we could see a more continuous progression toward human presence on Mars. So when you look at this mission as a whole, it becomes clear that it is not just about testing new technology. It is about laying the groundwork for the next phase of space exploration, where humans move from visiting other planets to operating on them. And that brings us to the bigger picture, because if this mission succeeds, it could redefine how we approach not just Mars, but exploration across the entire solar system. What makes this mission truly important is how it brings together three major shifts at once: nuclear propulsion, aerial exploration, and preparation for human missions. Each of these alone would be significant, but combined, they represent a completely new approach to exploring Mars. This is no longer just about reaching another planet. It's about understanding it, mapping it, and preparing to operate there. And if this model works, it could become the blueprint for future missions across the solar system. So here's the real question. If missions like this succeed, how close are we to seeing humans follow next? Comment below your theory. I'm genuinely curious. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates on space exploration and scientific discoveries. Your support truly makes a difference and helps this channel grow. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.